Hello and welcome to the track by track at Scruff of the Neck with Jack Wood of Bloxx's brand new EP, Modern Day. There we go!
Yeah,
Hello.
sorted.
There we go. Taz and Fee, thank you for joining.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Well, should we just dive in on track one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Straight in.
Straight into it.
Oh,
On my way to work. The funny thing about this song is that I literally didn't even work in the morning.
Are you
on
telling
my
me?
way to work. Like, where was I going? Because I wasn't working.
Are you telling me something in the song isn't true?
Oh yeah, no, I made it up.
Yeah, no way.
God forbid.
Yeah.
But I like this because instrumentally, it sounds quite hopeful. It's quite swelling, like there's it's blue sky listening,
Yeah.
but you're kind of critical of the modern day slightly.
Yeah. Well, this was literally lockdown, so it was like.
So this was your lockdown. So you listen to
Yeah.
the birds on your
On
your
my
walks.
waking up in the morning journey to my kitchen.
That's the way to work. Yeah.
So this is the title track for the EP. Why was this the title track?
I think we all felt it was the strongest. Like, Joe really pushed it forward that it was his favourite, and at a time I think it was my favourite, but you know, as a musician, things change all the time.
I think we're all a bit for like some social commentary.
Well, it does feel
You know
like
what I mean?
I thought, because we were talking about this before, Fee,
Yeah.
that I was like, this seems like this kind of summarises the album. Who's ringing?
Joe.
It's Joe. Does he want to be on?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
This kind of summarises the album really well in
Yeah.
that it seems to be the main
It ties
theme.
loose ends up that I never got to say on the previous EP, I think. Because
So
like,
this is your joining from the previous EP.
so yeah, like, I mean, pop culture was very much in this realm of music, I think, instrumentation and all of that sort of thing. And I wrote it at the same time as pop culture. And pop culture is very much the same in the sense that it is like it's like the forefront of hating everything about, it's like Television Promises too, it's about hating social media and hating the way that like modernity is literally just,
Crippling us.
yeah, it's weird. Like,
It's very underneath a microscope a little bit.
yeah, and we live in some sort of fake reality basically, like half of the time, like,
Everything's a simulation, man.
yeah. Like literally.
So did you all, because like obviously Fee does a lot of the writing, especially a lot of the lyrics. Do you have much say in when Fee brings like an idea? Do you all have to sort of agree to sort of get on the same vibe?
A lot of this EP, I mean, there's so many different ways to construct music. So a lot of this EP and from what has been coming out is a lot of what Fee was left to like her own device during like lockdown, the pandemic.
Because we didn't have direct access to be in a room together.
We couldn't be with each other. We like, as people, like we kind of struggle a little bit to write when we're not actually just crammed into an uncomfortable small environment with each other.
Ooh, and we are on to track 2,
Ooh.
which is, of course,
Television.
This is probably my
Promises.
favorite song on the EP.
Yeah,
your fa- why your favourite?
It's my favourite now, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
Something to it.
It's hooky from the get-go.
It's the major thirds. they just grab you like.
Because
right
the
there.
start of this, it's straight away there's that hooky little riff that
Yeah.
comes straight in. And you were saying before that you actually, when you wrote this, was this partly because you weren't seeing everyone? You wrote it as like guitar, bass, drums, which normally you're a 4-piece, but you
Yeah.
wrote it with only 3 instrumentation on it.
Yeah, so like, what me and Taz speak about regularly is that like, I think I used to hide behind a guitar as a confidence thing. And it is a confidence thing because when you're on stage, when you're holding something in front of you, it's almost like a barrier. Since last EP, I think I've been a little bit more like just with a microphone and a little bit more able to know what I'm doing with myself on stage. Like,
You're fronting this more.
yeah, and Taz is capable of a manner of things because he's a great guitarist.
Yeah.
So
He plays it with behind his head sometimes.
Yeah.
he
sometimes.
does.
Yeah.
He does, and gives me black eyes.
Yeah. Lovely.
No, it's just it was easier to write stuff like this in lockdown because it was simply me and Rich firing things over and going, don't like that bit, get rid of it, I'll re-record it. And I would just re-record it in my studio just really quickly, or he would, like, most of this instrumentation for TV Promises was Rich, and he's a brilliant, like, I'll send him a voice note, a voice recording of me playing it on acoustic guitar and singing a song. Within an hour and a half, he sent me a whole track back saying, record the vocals.
Amazing. I mean, this has my favourite lyric on the EP.
Is it watching headless chickens bake a... Yeah.
It's
What's the full lyric, just so everyone knows?
Watching headless chickens bake a fucking cake.
Yeah.
Okay, and please tell me it was Great British Bake Off.
Yes, of course, yeah.
There we go.
A lot of people didn't understand that. Like, so there's a bit... well, my ex kind of helped me write that lyric in it because we were together at the time, and I was trying to finish this song off, and it was the bit in the first verse where I'm like, I message on the box asking if I'm still awake, like that.
The Netflix
like the
screen.
Netflix screen. And like, I wouldn't have been able to piece that together, but she was able to help me to put that into words, and then the next verse wrote itself. So it was like watching headless chickens make a fucking cake. Like, I'm literally watching.
I think it's quite clever.
Yeah. Like,
so this is sort of like the way, it's a commentary, like the first one, the first track is Modern Day, of how society would prefer to sit and watch other people doing things than do it themselves.
Than actually doing it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And do you feel like that at the moment? Do you feel, so this was written in lockdown.
Yeah.
So do you still feel like that's still the case?
I could say, like, I know loads of people that wish that they could be doing what they wish they could be doing instead of living the life they feel like they have to live.
Yeah, literally.
Without sounding too hippie about it.
It's like the American dream, man. Like, everyone wants to be famous. Everyone wants to live a life where they're financially stable and comfortable without having to work for it. That's like,
it does. It feels like, do you remember when America, like, obviously we don't remember, but when it was like the land of film and stuff like that, it's the promises.
Hollywood,
if you can make it in Hollywood, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what that song reminds me of.
That's pretty much what it was all about. It
embody.
was like the same as pop culture. Like, there's a lyric in pop culture, I think is, oh God, now I can't off the top of my head. Like, I can't even think what it is. How does the song even start?
I love
this. Radio.
Do you want me to get the lyrics up?
No, Hollywood daydream, but a house by your 18th. Do you want it or not?
Yeah.
High on your jet stream, go shoot on a beach scene, climb up to the top, and it's basically like all that, like this whole these three songs: Television Promises, Pop Culture, and Modern Day. They all were written at the exact same time. It was in the space of like a week.
So this really, like, if you were to listen to them Pop Culture and then listen to Modern Day, it'd flow very nicely, at least theme-wise.
Yeah, I mean, we for me personally, like, I had sort of in my own head constructed album 2 after album 1 to be released as an album. Yeah. But we were in a point with our label that, like, we it was gonna have to be our period had ended and all the boring label stuff, whatever.
Politics, baby.
Music. So that EP was like the final push to see if it could work the way that it was working, but there were 9-10 tracks that could have been,
But I have to say that this EP feels a lot more summery than the last one. There's
like
a lot of, it's like, do
Yeah.
you know sometimes music has a season? This is a summer EP.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
for
it
sure.
does feel bright, it does feel
The
colourful.
timing is definitely right. For
It feels
this,
warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well, let's jump into the next one. So, next track is Runaway, which I think is when, look at that.
Yeah, man.
This is like, I really don't like this song.
Really? This has got, for me,
I
nearly
woke up one day and I had dreamt of a song in my sleep and I couldn't remember it. And I wrote this song about it.
Because it's about runaway dreams. It's like you've dreamt of something and you can't quite grasp it in reality.
Mark was like, that's it, that's a standout song. And I was just like, I hate it.
Really?
But, like, I don't hate it.
Have you grown
I
to
love
enjoy it more?
Like, it's one of my, like, it's something I created, but it reminds me of like a 2000s movie.
Yes.
like
I'd say the
like a
whole
coming
EP
of age
does that.
sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It's very driving music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does have that top down in the
Yeah.
car. Would you say like the running theme in this is slightly Americana in a way?
I think as people, we're quite inspired by.
I think if someone gave us the opportunity to, we'd be over there in a minute.
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
It does.
we love America,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate because it's so like, what's the word? It's quite what's that word? What is that word? When like you take the mick out of something, but like actually it is what
You like it.
Yeah.
It's sort of yeah. It's like when you
Oh,
flirt.
I know the word you're
like,
thinking.
Yeah.
pulling-
What is the word?
It's like when you pull in pigtails in the pet playground because you fancy
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah,
There
what's-
is a better word to describe
Yeah.
that, but it's lost on us all.
Yeah, damn, it's too early.
It's something that Matty Healy likes to say all the time.
Yeah.
Not metaphorical, not this.
It's like endearing.
Rhetorical. No. It's like it'll come.
But it feels so clean, this song, and it's in a way the way you sing on this song is different from the rest of the EP.
Yeah.
Especially at the start, there's nearly like a hip hop delivery. I know
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not
this
quite.
is like so low for me as
yeah.
well.
You
It's
on
like,
you
yeah.
can do some real highs, and you do on the chorus,
Yeah.
but all the verse.
Like if you listen to this bit here, like I think it's in one of the verses, but like you can hear where he's had to like do something
pitch it.
to my voice
Yeah.
because I wasn't hitting it low.
No.
But like I literally like big up what's the microphone brand? Rode, like
Rode
like an
mics.
NT1, like
Yeah.
that I bought on Amazon for like
Yeah.
£100.
You recorded it on that.
The whole EP.
Yeah,
The
banging.
whole EP.
The whole
there you go.
EP.
Top tips for any musicians out there. It's not about the price, it's about how you
It's
use
not what
it.
you use, it's what you use.
That's
There you go.
interesting.
But like the thing is as well, like a lot of it was to do with layering. So like I would sit in the studio and I would just sing for hours and hours and hours and hours and just layer them up, and I'd just shoot them over to Rich, and
Yeah.
literally he would just like mix them, and so I would like most of the time go to bed at like 3 a.m. like because I'd be sat out in my studio just recording.
This sounds authentic because of that. Because
Yeah.
like you said, it was out of a dream. I mean this in the politest way. You sound tired.
Yeah,
in a way.
Well, it
There's
was
like a
probably like
sleepy-
3 a.m. Yeah.
yeah.
But it adds to the ethos of
Yeah.
the song, which
Yeah,
is
because it's like I woke up one day and I was so angry because it was in my head when I have a dream about a song or when I have an idea for a song, but I don't have the ability to record it or
Like
sing
capture
it
it.
and capture it.
yeah.
I get like frantically annoyed because I'm like, that would have been number one. That would have been a great
So
song.
this is your runaway,
like
your ode
yeah.
to the lost songs.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Because I thought it was about a relationship.
No, it's about a song. It's about waking up and knowing that you've written a fucking number one single in your sleep and then you can't remember it.
This is
then it
your
ran away.
Tenacious D tribute.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Who knew?
Literally, yeah.
But I
pretty
think
much is.
for a song that you weren't sure about, it fits in.
Yeah.
It's this dream. It's the midpoint of the EP.
Mm.
It's this dreamy sort of moment,
Mm.
and it slows the EP down. We've had two things about commentary, and then this was suddenly a personal one.
Yeah.
And then we jumped straight into, I'd say,
My favourite on
Yeah,
the
I mean,
record.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
we'll have a listen, but I think, is it because it's the most personal? Weight in Gold.
Yeah, so this for me was based on a conversation I had with my nan, and she told me, like, she knew that I was struggling, she knew that I was going through stuff, and she just looked me straight dead in the eye and said, you need to sort yourself out because you're worth more than what you're putting yourself through. And then the song just
So did it fall out of you after that conversation?
This one took a bit of time. The lyrics were there, but it took me a lot of time to perfect the instrumentation of it. I wanted it to feel a little bit more like... So everyone knows that in this band, my favourite song that I've ever written is Coming Up Short. That will always be...
You tweeted it a few
Yeah,
times.
I tweet it all the time. Like I would just put a weekly reminder,
But
remind
listen to-
people that Coming Up Short's your favourite song.
But this this chorus bursts out, and I think I don't think you've written your best song yet. I think it's on its way, but how can you not say this is close? If you think coming up short's great.
But this is what I mean. This for me, like I forget about this one.
Yeah.
But I think it's a subconscious trying not to think about it because it does make me think too much. Like it's so close to me that like I know that when we play it live, it's probably going to be quite a difficult one to get out.
I'm predicting
coming up short, and everything I've ever learned when we started playing that first off, that was just for me really fucking difficult.
So live, do you inhabit the song still? It's not just like, because sometimes bands will play songs so many times, it's like covering them themselves. But you feel them every time. And have you played this live yet?
No.
Is that gonna be a hard step for you to get to that?
I don't know, because what will happen is that the reaction of the way that it's received by people will probably help me play it. Like when we put out Everything I Ever Learned, the first 2 times I think we played it, I cried at the end.
Yeah.
And like that was like a really hard thing to try and get through, but we put it at the end of the set, so I knew that it would be the last thing that I can do and get off stage and then go and cry if I need to cry.
How interesting that's how you have to do. I've never heard of a band feel something that much, that's how they have to sort the set list out. Normally it's like, okay, that's a heavy one, we'll lull them back in and hit them with another heavy. You've gone emotional heft as
I think I want to say like both me and Fee are quite emotionally driven people.
Oh, yeah.
So like if it's not,
I think that's why we work
the way we work, like if it's not gut wrenching or enough or like emotive or
it's futile.
Yeah, literally, like
if it
I don't
doesn't
know.
evoke something
If I'm
in
not
you,
feeling it, how are you supposed to feel it?
Yeah,
you know?
I think this one really works because I listen to this and it's the one that clicks immediately because I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, this is the first song on the EP when you're talking directly to the listener.
Yeah.
And
so it was like a message to myself from that conversation I had with my nan. It was like basically, you're worth your weight in gold, why don't you see it? And it was almost like I was turning it on its head as well, trying to, like, if you are speaking to somebody, if you are trying to get them to realise their worth, what's the lyric in the chorus where it's just like, maybe you're capable, baby, I'd say so. Like, you can do this.
I think it really hits hard, and and it takes you to have lived it to deliver it properly, and you do. There's a real authenticity behind that, and I think that at that point, so you've done 2 songs about social commentary, 1 about a dream, and this is the point when you go, right, well, this has got real now. And it's like, society's fucked to the first 2 songs. We're all screwed. I'm dreaming. I'm moving forwards. This is the point. But there's a theme in it of escapism throughout the EP. So the first 2 is like the fact that we're all seeking it. Runaway is like you're trying to chase something, and this one is you're now trying to stop the escapism. You're trying to hit things head on, and that's why I know you said before that there isn't a common theme coming through. Can you hear it?
To be fair, I haven't sat down and listened to it as a.
There's a narrative. I don't know how you've managed to place it together so perfectly, and maybe I don't even think it was that it was placed. It's just like when you're doing something in a flow, it just kind of happens in that way, you know.
I mean, I remember there being loads of conversations about what order do we put it in, and I was just like, it come to a point where
that just seemed like the most natural.
I just don't care anymore. You can decide. Like
it's worked. It's worked. I think as an EP, it's hard to do that in 5 songs. But you've done it. Well, let's go for the closer, which is, I think, nearly as hard to decide on what it's going to be as the opener. But this is a biggie.
It's probably my favourite song.
You play this live at the moment.
Have I said that about every song now? Every single
one
you've played?
Runaway you did right. So let's jump in on the last one. Happy Anniversary, brackets to Being Lonely.
We're going to play this one tonight.
Yeah, we're playing this tonight, but a lot of people think it sounds like I'm saying something a little bit different from Lonely.
Well, you told me in a message and you thought we're going to try and do this. Happy Anniversary.
How are you hearing that? How is anyone hearing that?
Horny.
Yeah.
It does, listen, it does sound like it, mate. I'll tell you a story about this song. I was half cut when I sung these lyrics in.
Really?
Fucked. Fucked.
It sounds, yeah. It's probably why I like it so much.
I was
Happy.
literally like, this was probably the height of my problems. This was like, it was literally about 2-3 nights during like, well, it would have been the end of lockdown. This was one of the last of that sort of thing before Waiting Gold. And I used to just sit at my desk and feel really like I couldn't do anything, like I wasn't writing enough, like I felt useless.
You were in your head?
So I would just go to the shop, buy 4 cans and sit there, and 1, then I'd feel a bit better, then 2, I'd feel great, and then I was like, oh, smash it, I'll do the vocals.
Really?
Yeah, and
This does have a fuck you element to it.
very angsty.
Yeah.
It's the punkiest song.
It
on
is.
there.
It's spiky. It's you're attacking in the lyrics.
I've got
in
the
the
voice
vocals.
note. I've got the voice note where I played on, like, I literally fleshed it out on an acoustic guitar. I'll send it to you later. You can edit it.
We
whatever.
will put that in the edit.
And I had my acoustic guitar, which was missing its E string. Like, I was just sat there and I was like, Rich, mate, what do you think of this? Put the phone down, played it on guitar, and was just like, happy anniversary to Being Lonely. He was like, oh, it sounds a bit cringy, like happy anniversary. But I was just like, no, listen to the rest of the song. It's happy anniversary to Being Lonely.
Yeah.
And like, it just,
So,
it was.
is this a breakup song? Because to me,
No, this
yeah.
for me was understanding that I am incapable of relationships and incapable of being alone. So that catch-22 where you don't want to be with someone, but you don't want to be on your own.
Yeah.
and that's the juxtaposition of the title.
That's the fucking word I was looking for earlier.
Oh, we love that word.
Juxtaposition.
There we go. We got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you enjoy wordplay in this.
Yeah, I do,
This is,
yeah.
And this is. Did you write the lyrics half cut? Did it just come out?
No, I think I had the lyrics on my phone for, like, it was one of those songs where, like, you get into the mindset and you're like, oh, let me look at if I've written anything worth saving.
Yeah.
And then I'd go through and I'd be like, a couple bits. I think I started this tune with the ooze I was at the time listening to a band called Deer in the Headlights. I don't know, like they're like a Midwestern emo sort of
It's
thing.
got a shoegazy ooh.
Yeah. And like he does this really good harmony in the song, and now I feel like I'm gonna get a lawsuit because I didn't rip it off.
No, we
It's
love
not-
inspiration.
But they did this really cool harmony, and that the ooze came from that. And then I was just kind of like, oh, this needs to feel like a really like punchy, angsty. I need to get stuff off my chest.
Yeah.
And I had at this point just broken up with Alex.
Yeah.
So it was like the end of my. It's not a breakup song, but it was more like understanding that I knew that it was me. And like realizing like there comes a point in your lifetime where you have to take responsibility, and this whole record is kind of me doing that, because
It's a
I don't
reflective
like Taz
EP.
will be the first person to fucking tell you, like, the first part of this band I was selfish. I didn't give a shit about anyone else. I was making decisions that were rash and wasn't me as a person, but I was just so caught up in elements of not understanding that I needed to grow up as an adult and be a human being. I started realizing things, unfortunately, through panic attacks and anxiety that made me kind of have to grow up and say, shit, you've got to take responsibility for the things that you've done. Unfortunately, sometimes there are things that you can't take back, and there are things you can't apologize for, but
So in a way, this song's an apology song, not just
it's
to your old self.
yeah, it's like
Be kinder to yourself. Work
yeah.
through things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's also like realizing that like you sort of almost used somebody for the benefit of not wanting to be alone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which, you know,
I think
can't
a lot
be
of
an
people have
easy
been guilty.
thing.
To
Yeah.
share.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely,
we've
man.
all done it.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just like I feel as a person now like so much guilt and like this sort of feeling of wanting to nurture and sort of apologise to the people that I may have hurt and upset.
It feels like you've worked through a lot on this EP. You went through a journey, and now that you've listened to it again as a whole, what are your takeaway thoughts on it?
I'm really excited for it to be out, like in its entirety. Like,
Yeah, it hasn't hit me.
yeah.
Like,
You know, we've been
Yeah.
doing this for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And dropping new music still doesn't get old.
No.
It still has that like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna be, how it's gonna be received, and all of that. So, because we haven't dropped anything for 2 years, this just feels like a hard reset. It
Yeah.
feels like we're starting again.
Yeah.
And this is like the first EP we've ever dropped, almost. Like,
yeah,
it's weird.
yeah,
but
it's like
it's exciting.
Yeah,
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
it's never like, it's never monotonous. It's always like fresh and a new beginning, which
Yeah.
is really strange because you would think that you would just like.
I'm
used
excited
it
to
by
see
now.
where, like, I'm excited for this to come out, but I'm also excited to see where we go,
Well,
like,
th-
from
this
Yeah.
does feel like you tying the loose ends, like you said,
Yeah,
and then starting something
Yeah.
fresh.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I think the next stuff that comes out from Bloxx
Will be, yeah.
is
Best.
building on this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you're at a great position, and this is like right.
It's just whether or not I can fucking write it.
We'll get
you
there.
can
We'll
write it, baby.
We'll get there.
Yeah, this is you planting the flag. This is Bloxx now.
Yeah.
Get ready for
Yeah.
strap in.
Yeah, basically.
Strap it.
Yeah.
The lesbians are quaking.
Oh my god.
Bloxx, modern day, track by track. The lesbians are quaking. We can't wait.